again, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on my mat. I hope you're all doing really well. Today's class has been a request from quite a few of you, and it's just to take it all the way back to basics. So it's going to be a really simple flow today. And in terms of the simplicity, even if you are a practicing yogi, a seasoned yogi, sometimes it's really nice to come back to a simple practice where you can often just lose your mind, not focus on anything that's going on there, and really tap into your body and tap into your breath. And when we do that, we can find ourselves into this kind of moving meditation where no thoughts really come up, or perhaps there are thoughts, but you're able to just side-eye them and you really get into the breath, because the movements almost feel automatic, and you find that rhythm, you find a flow, and you find an ease. So we're taking it all the way back to basics, a real simple practice today. So we're going to start off comfortable seat if you want to come into Heroes for Asana, posture that you're able to just find your breath to start off with. Know that, of course, as always, you can pause, you can take a child's pose at any point, you can skip a vinyasa, work with any modification, any variation that you'd like to. And as well, if you have any niggles or injuries, of course, be mindful. This is your practice on your mat. So when you're ready, begin to close off the eyes or turn your gaze to face down. If you'd like, you can welcome to turn the palms to face upwards. Coming into Chi Mudra to bring yourself a little bit more focus, connecting your body, your inside world with the outside world when we come into our Chi Mudra. Just start to notice where your breath is coming from. Notice any thoughts that are entering the mind and acknowledge them. Pay a little bit of attention to them, and with your next exhale, just let them drift by. If you're able to, start to move your breath all the way down into your lower abdomen, your belly. Begin to purse the lips together if you haven't already. Perhaps come into your Ujjayi, your ocean breath. Or just keeping the lips pursed together, just using your nose to take your inhalation and your exhalation. If you have a devotion, intention, or even a purpose for your practice today, perhaps just draw a little bit of awareness to that. And as you sit here, just feel yourself grounding. Feel your sitting bones on your mat or on your block, your bolster. Bring your full awareness to your breath and really listen out for your breath. Gently dropping your chin into your chest, feeling the stretch on the back of the neck. If you'd like to release the hands, you're going to draw your hands all the way round through the spine, draw the elbows together, and just notice where you feel that through the spine. Perhaps it's at the top by your neck, middle of the back, lower back. From there, just releasing the hands down, walking your way all the way through into your child's pose. So as you come into the child's pose, drop yourself all the way down. Take a little bit of a wider kneeling child's pose. Dropping the chest all the way through. Don't worry too much if your bum doesn't touch your heels. You're welcome to use a block again to bring the earth closer. Bring a little bit of life back into those fingertips by stretching them wide, and come right up onto the fingertips to stretch a little bit further into your upper back, around your shoulder blades. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. Start to slowly roll up through the spine and make this really purposeful. So imagine coming up vertebra by vertebra, tucking your tailbone under as you rise, rolling the shoulders all the way up, back and down. Start to draw the knees together and just sit back in a hero's pose for Asana. So again, don't worry too much if this is a little bit hard. You can always place something behind the knees or just a block behind you or a cushion, a pillow. As you sit nice and tall, just round through the shoulders. 3 in one direction and 3 in the other. We're going to work through our Sun Salutations today. So that means a little bit of plank, down face dog, our chaturangas. So we're just going to warm up the rest by placing the right hand forward, stretch those fingertips back. And then placing the hand away and draw the fingers through the other direction. So stretching the top of the forearm. And working through the other side. So pressing those fingers away, working through the wrist extensors, the wrist flexors, and switching to the other side, pressing the hand into the back of the left hand into the right fingertips. Taking a few works, opening, flashing the fingers and making a fist. And then dropping yourself back down, this time into a narrow child's pose, forehead to the mat. On the next inhale, imagine coming straight into your angry cat, rounding through the spine, taking the knees hip distance, right underneath the hips, rounding through the back, chin to chest, gaze is right between the thighs, and then curl the toes under and press into the feet as well, lifting through the shoulders. On your next inhale, nice and slowly, work through your belly, allow the hips to rise and then lead with the nose. Press through the fingertips and come into your calf stretch. On the exhale, soften, bend the elbows just a touch. Rounding through the back, chin to chest, pressing through the fingertips, pressing through the shoulders. And on the inhale, release. Allow the hips to fly, the chest and the heart to come forwards. Gaze is up with the eyes. On this exhale, soften through the elbows, tuck chin into chest. On the next inhale, as you curl the toes under that a little bit more, begin to lift through the knees. You're welcome to stay there in your half down face dog. Perhaps just play, tread the feet, pedal the toes, the heels. Work in and out of your down face dog. If you'd like to, coming into a plank, kind of working yourself back, just warming up through the entire spine, keeping those hips nice and high. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep tapping right back into your breath today, and when you're ready, the gaze is right between the fingertips. You can step, jump or walk yourself all the way through. If you're walking, hike those hips up nice and high, come onto the fingertips. Keep the feet hip distance apart, or even a little bit wider. Soften through the knees and take your first forward fold. Hands to opposite elbow if that feels good. Keep thinking about the tailbone coming high, the hips lifting up, but allow the head, the neck to rest. Perhaps shake it yes, no, left and right. On your next inhale, placing the hands on the shins, lengthen through the spine, flat back into Ardha, gazing pose. And on the exhale, draw yourself back down. Elbows nice and wide, or perhaps even wrapping your hands right around the legs. Get those hips and the tailbone tipping up. Soften through the knees again and gaze forwards, flat back. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, release. As you lower down this time, you're going to take your time, vertebra by vertebra. Let the fingertips go nice and heavy and roll up through your spine. Head, neck and shoulders last to rise. Roll the shoulders back. Drawing your big toes together. If that feels good, you can always keep space between the heels and the feet. Ground down through the toes. So lift them wide, pressing them down. Energize through the legs, lifting your kneecaps, Tucking the tailbone under, dropping the ribs down, the shoulders away from the ears, palms facing forwards in our Uttanasana, our mountain pose. So really grounding and holding this posture, finding your breath again, so closing the lips. On the next inhale, take the arms all the way up and overhead, coming into Uttanasana. On the exhale, soften through the knees, fold forwards, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, hands on the mat to the shins or to a block and lengthen. Exhale, draw yourself back down. You can keep the legs straight or keep them soft. On the inhale, rise, come all the way back up, taking our half Sun Salutation. And on the exhale, draw your hands all the way back through heart center, Swanasana and Uttanasana. Inhale, the arms come all the way up and round, Utva. Exhale, soften, dive forwards, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen and prepare, flat back, Ardha. Exhale, draw yourself back down. On the inhale, rise, come all the way back up, either rolling through the spine or taking that swan dive back up. And on the exhale, draw your hands all the way back through heart center. Back to Uttanasana, mountain pose. Moving to our Sun Salutation A. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Exhale, soften through the knees, dive forwards, Ardha, on your next inhalation. Exhale, draw yourself back down. Once you're drawing down, stepping back with the right foot and stepping back with the left into your high plank. Taking it nice and slow, elevating through your shoulder blades, rounding through the back, pressing through those heels, dropping the knees, and either chest and chin through Asana or lowering your whole belly down to the mat. Elbows drawing in wherever you are. On the next inhale, rising into baby cobra with the toes pressing down. Exhale, lower. Inhale, curl the toes up, lift yourself up and back, perhaps onto all fours or straight into your down dog. Through a child's pose and lifting into your down face dog. We're going to hold this down dog for 3 breaths. So making sure that your posture, your alignment is good, that first finger facing forwards, moving away through the shoulders, tucking the heels just behind the toes so you can't see them, lifting through the legs, the tailbone, lengthening through your spine, the gaze is right between the thighs. Last breath. On the next inhale, looking between the space in your hands, you're welcome to hop, jump, or step the right foot through. As the right foot comes through, stepping all the way through the left. On the inhale, rise halfway. On the exhale, draw yourself back down, forward fold. Inhale, rise, come all the way up. Once again, rolling through the spine or swan diving. Tucking tailbone under. On the exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. Taking one more. Inhale, lift, Urdhva. Exhale, fold forwards, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen and prepare. Hands on the shins, your block or your mat. Exhale, lower. Stepping back with the left leg. Stepping back with the right coming into your high plank. Pressing through the toes, the heels, energizing through the legs. Fingertips working for you, and on the exhale, lowering Ashtanga, knees, chest, chin, your chaturanga, or your belly all the way down to the mat. Wherever you are, keep those elbows in, gaze is forwards. Inhale, release the toes, low baby cobra, belly button stays on the mat. Shoulders away from the ears, squeeze. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, waving yourself back. And up into your down face dog. Again, holding down dog for 3 breaths. You're welcome to find stillness. Head tread the feet. Last breath. Gaze is right between the thighs. Drawing the belly button in, the rib cage. When you're ready on your next inhale, look between the space and the hands, stride the left foot through. Know you can always drop the heel down or use your hand to guide that foot through. And then step your right, toes touch, heels apart, inhale, rise. Exhale, lower. On the inhale, swan dive the arms all the way up and round, tucking your tailbone under, reaching gazes all the way up. On the exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. And back to your Uttanasana mountain pose. From there, we're going to walk our feet out to hip distance. If you know you have a really strong, solid chair pose in your practice, you're welcome to keep the feet together. When you're ready, begin to push back through the hips. Make sure your weight is on your heels and you keep those knees pressing out. Tuck the tailbone under and rise through the arms, coming into chair pose, Uttanasana. Energy through those fingertips, gazes forwards or up towards the hands, breathing and holding, inhaling, exhale, inhale, exhale. On the inhale, lift. On the exhale, fold forward, softening through the knees, taking the hands down. Inhale, rise, halfway. Exhale, lower. Stepping back with the right leg. Stepping back with the left. We're going to take another chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. If you're taking your chaturanga, roll onto the toes, the gaze is forwards, down through the elbows, moving your way through, lead with chest and heart. Inhale, rolling onto the toes, into your up dog, or your cobra variation. Exhale, back, up and down, down dog. Look between the space in your hands on the next inhale. Move that right foot all the way towards your right thumb. From there, you're welcome to stay down onto the back toe, or you drop the back heel down, shortening your stride, drawing that right hip back, left hip forwards, and rise, come into warrior one. We're going to hold here just for a couple of breaths on this round, breathing in, breathing out. Turning the hips to face forwards, drawing that right knee out as much as you can. Arms up lovely and strong. And smile, breathing in, breathing out. When you're ready, lower both hands down to the mat, slide that left leg back. Begin to reach your right foot back to meet your left. Drop down through the knees, chest and chin, or take your chaturanga. Inhale is your up dog or your cobra. Exhale, back, up and down, into your down dog. Looking between the space in your hands again, stride that left foot through. Replacing it where your thumb is, shorten your stride or stay up on your toe. Drop that back right heel down. Rise and come all the way back up. Warrior one on the left leg. Right hip forward, left hip back. Drawing the belly in, pressing firmly down in that right heel. Turning that left foot out, so your knee tracks your pinky toe side, last breath. Exhale, lower both hands down to the mat. Stretching the right foot back, meet your left leg to meet your right. Again, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, rise, up dog, cobra variation of your choice. Exhale, back, up and down dog, where we're going to hold for 3 breaths. Know at this point you can always drop down onto the knees, uncurl the toes, drop yourself back and down into child's pose. Or continue to hold in your down dog. Breathing in. Again, you can pedal, you can tread those feet. You're welcome to take a 3-legged down dog if that's in your practice. Or just find your stillness and hold. Inhale. Exhale. Chin to chest, gazes between the thighs. Keep pressing through the thumb side and each pinky finger, each finger. When you're ready, look between the space in your hands. You're welcome to jump, or once again, step the right foot and the left foot through. Gazing pose, flat back, toes together, heels apart. Exhale, draw yourself down. Soften through the knees this time, push those hips back and come into chair pose, Uttanasana. Tucking the tailbone under, weights in the heels. Again, don't worry too much about dropping too low here and your chest being right on your thighs. Keep lifting yourself up and out. The chest is forwards. Gaze is forwards or up. Breathing in. Breathing out. So on the inhale, rise, come up. On the exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. And back to Uttanasana, mountain pose. Inhale, soften the knees, come back through to chair pose, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise and lift. Exhale, lower down through Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen and prepare, flat back. Again, you're welcome to step, jump or float yourself back into your high plank first. Knees, chest, chin, or take your chaturanga. Inhale, rise. Low cobra, king cobra, up dog. Exhale, back, up and down into your down dog. Once again, this time we're going to rise through the right leg, or keep the right leg down and step the right foot right between your fingertips. Staying up onto the back toe if you like, or dropping the heel down. Rise, one breath this time, warrior one. Exhale, lower both hands down to the mat. Striding the right leg back to meet your left. Taking chaturanga. Or your knees, chest, chin. Up dog on the inhale. Exhale, Ardha Muka, down dog on the exhale. Looking between the space in your hands, left leg steps forwards, replacing the thumb on that left side. Inhale, rise, lift, warrior one. Either parting the hands or joining them. Exhale, lower, framing the foot. Stepping yourself back into your high plank. Knees, chest, chin. Or your chaturanga. Inhale, rise, lifting up dog, cobra variation. Exhale, curling the toes under, drawing the belly in and lifting yourself back up and down into your down dog to reset for 3 breaths. Fingertips spreading wide. Perhaps open the mouth, sigh on your next breath. Shake the head, yes, no, left, right. Pedal the feet if that works for you. Move around, breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, last breath to exhale. On the next inhale, if you're taking your jump through, soften through the knees, the gaze is forwards, and when you're ready, you're going to lift all the way up through the hips, and step, jump, walk yourself to the very top edge of your mat. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, lower. Softening through the knees, rise, come up into your chair pose, Uttanasana. Shoulders away from the ears, tucking your tailbone under, squeezing those knees and thighs. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. And back all the way through to Uttanasana. Last time with a slight modification. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, step, jump, float yourself all the way back to high plank. Knees, chest, chin, exhaling or chaturanga. Inhale, rise. Up dog, cobra. Exhale, back, up and down, down dog. Inhaling, right leg. Exhale, stepping the right foot through, waiting for the modification. Dropping the knee down, uncurling the toe. Rise, Anjaneyasana. Exhale, release both hands either side of the front foot. Curling the back toe under, runner's lunge. Sliding right leg back, waving the body back into down dog. Inhale, left leg, rise. Exhale, stepping the left foot through. Dropping down onto the back knee, uncurling the toe. Inhale, lifting, Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, releasing both hands either side of the front foot, using those fingertips for your block, lifting yourself all the way up into runner's lunge. Exhale, draw yourself all the way back, down dog. Holding for 3 breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Gaze is right between the thighs. Know that you're welcome to always come down into a child's pose if that works for you. Last breath. When you're ready, looking between the space in your hands again, you're welcome to soften through those knees, to step, jump, float yourself right between. Inhale, flat back, lengthening the spine. Exhale, draw yourself down. As you draw, soften through those knees. Lift yourself up into chair pose, Uttanasana. Tucking the tailbone under, squeezing the knees and the thighs, moving those shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, rise. Exhale, draw your hands back through heart center. Inhale, chair pose, Uttanasana. Grounding through the feet and lowering on the exhale. Inhale, lengthen and prepare, flat back. Exhale, lower. Once again, stepping or jumping yourself back into your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, rise, opening through the chest and the heart. Shoulders away from those ears, up dog. Exhale, back, up and down, down dog. Looking between the space in the hands, planting the fingertips down. And if you have a jump through, you're welcome to take that, or you can begin to hike those hips and walk your feet to the very edge, perhaps lifting onto the fingertips, dropping the hips down, placing the hands a little bit wider, and dropping yourself onto your seat. Just coming into a cross leg to start off with, sitting lovely and tall, coming into our seated postures from there. Just taking a couple of breaths in Sukhasana, that seated posture. From there, stretching the legs, lovely and long, all the way out in front of you. Lifting the flesh from your bottom, drawing your belly in nice and strong. You're going to point the toes to start off with and plant those fingertips right by your knees. So we're going to do a little bit of core work and preparation before we lower all the way down. From there, if you can, on the next inhale, lifting through the right leg. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, lower. Right leg. And lower. Left leg. And lower. Flexing the feet this time on the inhale, rise. Come all the way up through the arms. On the exhale, diving forwards. Keep moving forwards with the nose, the crown of the head. Taking to the outside of the feet. Perhaps the outside of your calf muscles and allowing some flexion through the knee. Drawing your chest and your belly down onto the thighs. Coming into Paschimottanasana, our forward fold. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. On the inhale, slowly lift and rise. Come all the way up through the spine. Sliding from there, that left foot underneath the right thigh. Coming into Jani Shirsasana. So moving our body around to face right over that right leg. Inhaling, lifting the arms, coming all the way up, taking that little bit extra of a twist. And exhale, folding right over that right leg. Again, keep the gaze forwards. Try not to bow the head down. Keep lengthening through the spine, lengthening forwards with your chest. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Rounding up through the spine and gently switching legs. So drawing the right foot right underneath the toes or right underneath the hamstring there, or just keeping your foot to the side. It helps sometimes to turn the foot to face upwards, and you have that nice outward rotation of your knee as well. So turning the body to face the left hand side, inhale, lift the arms all the way up. On the exhale, moving your body forwards, coming into that forward fold right over the left leg. Leading with the crown of the head, leading with the chest and the heart. Keep using your breath to soften into the stretch. Inhale, exhale. Breathing in, breathing out. On the next inhale, slowly rise, come all the way up through the spine. Drawing that right foot out. From there, you're going to take your feet to hip distance apart. Placing the hands right by your hips. Tuck your tailbone under just enough. And then from there, lift the legs. As the legs lift, you're going to take the hands underneath the thighs and draw those knees and the feet together. So you can go a little bit between a point and a flex by stretching those feet away, but also pressing your toes away as well. Keep drawing the thighs really close into Namaskar, boat pose. Breathing in, breathing out. From this posture, you're welcome to stay and hold here. Perhaps you lengthen through the legs a little bit more. Perhaps you begin to take the arms off. And perhaps you prefer to take a vinyasa. So if you'd like to take one final vinyasa, you can cross those legs over, place the hands down, jump yourself back, coming into chaturanga. Inhale again is your up dog, exhale is your down dog, and again you can work with that jump through, or perhaps that hiking of the hips, the drawing of the belly all the way in to lower your seat down. And lift yourself back into your seated posture. So if you stayed with your Navasana, lower the legs down, coming finally into your Baddha, bound angle pose. Outer edges of the feet draw together, taking the thumbs to open the feet like a book, and as you do so you get that outward rotation of the knee. Trying to get the heels as close as you can to your sitting bones. Pressing the chest through. Breathing in. Breathing out. From there, lead with chest and heart. Start to draw those elbows backwards. Perhaps place them on your thighs and lean yourself forwards. With a nice flat back, or as flat as you can, into a bit more of a forward fold. Inhale, rise, come up. You're going to make your feet and your leg shape more into a diamond shape. And this time we're going to round through the spine, lowering, creating that lovely shape, imagining the head. Don't worry if it doesn't touch your toes, or that space between the feet, rounding through the spine. And quite a nice restorative pose as well as you lower through. Slowly lifting, keeping your legs exactly where they are. Inhaling, lifting through one single arm and taking the arm across the body. As you take that arm across the body, you're going to move the opposite arm behind you and just come into a twist. So continue to press down on the top of the thigh, the knee. with lowering yourself down, perhaps bending through the elbows, see how that feels, as well as lifting yourself tall. Inhale, draw through both arms. Exhale, take the twist through to the side, dropping those fingertips, the palm behind you, twisting round through the torso, using that single arm to continue to press the left or the right leg down, whichever side you use first. Slowly releasing, drawing your knees in. We're going to take a roll down from there. So feet hip distance, planting down. Begin to tuck tailbone under, using hands underneath the thighs or stretching them wide. Tuck the tailbone and begin to lower yourself all the way down to the mat, vertebra by vertebra. When you reach and the lower back touches, draw those knees straight in towards your chest. Massage out the lower back from side to side. Perhaps take circles with the knees if that feels good. From there, we're going to keep the knees up, plant the fingertips down, and then just drop those knees over to the right, coming into a spinal twist. You can take the arm to spread wide if that feels good, more into a T. Even use the hand on top of the thigh to drop it down. When you're ready, using the hands, palms facing down, to draw those knees all the way back through centre, and of course always give them a help. If you have more in your body today and you live in a really open body as well, you can always cross those legs over into eagle legs and drop to the side, or just keep those knees in and allow the knees to go over to the left. Using the hands to guide them, taking your gaze over to the right hand side if that feels good, or just keeping your head in line and your gaze facing upwards. When you're ready, using your palms or your core to lift all the way through back, through center. We're going to finish by taking happy baby, so dropping the knees nice and wide, either taking hold of the ankles, more of the calf muscles, or taking your feet or your hands, all the way round the outside edges of the feet, pressing the lower back down into the mat. Moving your feet to the parallel of the sky, with the ceiling. You're welcome to close down the eyes here. You can rock from side to side if that feels good. Massage out the lower back that little bit more. And in your own time, if you have any of the postures that you like to do, perhaps you have inversions in your practice and you like to do those to finish. Shoulder stand, a bridge, a headstand, you're welcome to take any of those. Be mindful wherever you are. And when you're ready, slowly draw the knees back into the chest. Release the legs down into your final pose of Shavasana, taking the feet to the very width or even wider than the width of the mat. Palms facing upwards, away from the body, shoulders away from the ears. Release, let go. And just take a moment to come back to your breath. And to bring your awareness back to your body. Notice how your body feels now in this moment. Perhaps if there's been any changes in the mind or in the body. And you're welcome to stay here in your Shavasana for as long as you like. If you're able to take 5 or 10 minutes, that's perfect. If you would prefer to come to a seated posture and take your meditation or your breath work seated, you're welcome to. Perhaps draw the knees in towards your chest. Find your way into that comfortable seat wherever you are, or continue in your Shavasana pose. Feel yourself grounding, surrendering. Making sure the eyes are closed or the gaze is down, wherever you are. Find the subtlety of your breath today. So with very little effort, notice if you can bring some softness, some ease to your breath. Just breathing in and out through the nose in your own rhythm. Notice if you're able to pause at the top and at the bottom of every breath. And perhaps bring your awareness to either your nostrils, the inflow or the outflow, or even to the belly as it gently rises and falls with every breath. If you're still in your Shavasana pose, of course, you're welcome to stay there for as long as you like. If you're ready to come out and start anew, just start to bring some life back into your body, and you can do the same if you're in your comfortable seat. Perhaps just moving the fingertips one by one. Noticing the texture, the warmth of your body underneath the fingertips. From Shavasana, just rolling yourself to one side, making your way all the way back through and joining us in your comfortable seat. Joining your thumbs together and your fingertips at heart center in our Namaste mudra. Giving the shoulders a big roll all the way up on the inhale, and on the exhale drawing them down right into their place. Closing by coming back to your intention, your purpose, or perhaps just noticing the simplicity of the practice and the simplicity within yourself in this very moment. Drawing your thumbs to your third eye center. Inhale through the nose. Exhale, a sigh out of the mouth. Living your life to its fullest, embracing your life with passion, bowing to the divine in each and every one of you, and saying thank you as always for coming onto your mat. Namaste.